Hello, this is Tom Knox, the founder and CEO of CareFamily, and I want to welcome you to part 3 in our video series, Planning for Elder Care. Let's talk about what you need to know when you're thinking about paying for care. You know, it's amazing when you sit in these home assessments, and I've sat in a lot of them. We are talking about care and people getting a caregiver in the home. And oftentimes someone will say, well, you know, mom's got all the best insurances. She has Medicare and she has Anthem and she has ARP and all these things. And they think, understandably, that they've paid into these insurance systems and that something is provided for. But the truth is, with home care, there really isn't the option of insurances paying for care. Now, if you have no money and you're Medicaid, then subsidies may pick up some home care. But besides that, you're really on your own. And that's why long-term care insurance was invented, because private home care to help with basic needs is not covered by insurance. So the first thing you have to really remember is when you're talking about care and thinking about it, you have to have private funds, unless you have long-term care insurance or handle some other ways, which we'll talk about, to pay for care. And care can range anywhere from, probably $14 to $15 an hour on the very, very low end with a very quality caregiver like at CareFamily.com to $20 to $25 an hour at an agency. So you got to be thinking that way. Or people do live-in care, where at CareFamily.com you can get a 24-hour live-in and you're working at around $150 a day, to, agency care, which is about $250 a day. So you can kind of look at the ranges, but make sure you're budgeting and planning on paying for care privately. Let's talk about some resources that could be available to you to help pay for your care needs. The first one I want to talk about is one that we talk about on our site in other areas, which is the Veterans Aid and Attendance Benefit. And to just try to explain this very quickly, if you or your spouse, I'm talking about the seniors, were veterans during any wartime period, and if you look at it and research it and look on our site, it's a pretty broad amount. So if you served in the military during any wartime, you're pretty much going to qualify. There are some financial limitations to it, but it's not one of those things you have to be indigent. You can have income, you can have resources, you can own a home, but you may be eligible for up to about $1,800 a month in an extra pension that can go towards care needs. So it's definitely worth looking at. The second thing is a reverse mortgage. And, I've dealt with families who feel very cash poor, understandably. These are seniors who are on Social Security and really need care and want to stay at home and just need someone a couple days a week or once a day for a few hours. But they feel like they can't get care, yet they own a house outright. And I'm not advocating that people go in and get equity out of their house, but reverse mortgages are government regulated. There is no cash outlay up front. You never ever can be kicked out of your house, and you can get a check each month for, $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 a month, whatever you decide, and based on the equity in your home, that can allow you to stay at home long term. Use those resources to pay for your care. You can still pass your home on to your children. And for a lot of people, it's just fantastic peace of mind. The next one is long-term care insurance. And for some seniors, maybe 10 to 15% who need care now, they do have long-term care insurance. And for those of you who are watching this, who may be the adult children, look at it. Because what you're doing is you're buying money. You're buying protection. I made my mother get it. My mom gets $150 a day when she'll need care that can go towards care. And that could pay for a live-in with a company like CareFamily, or it can pay for hourly care or go towards an assisted living facility. And that way you can preserve your assets, you're insuring against the risk, and it does pay for care. And the last one I'll talk about is Medicaid, and I've mentioned this in the video. Once you spend down all resources, Medicaid is there as a safety net that can pay for nursing home care or pay for some home care.